Hi everyone, I thought I would have a go at another one of these squares from this page in Johanna Basford's Worlds of Wonder. The last video I did seemed really popular, so I thought I'd have another go, and I really enjoyed it anyway. And this time I thought I would grab a colour cube card to use. These are Sarah Renae Clark's colour cubes. I can put a link to her website in the description. That's where you get them from. So they are quite expensive. The shipping is a little cheaper now than it was to the UK. She's got a UK distributor now. They are dear, but I can just show you how to use them. And if you don't want to buy hers, they're quite nice thick card. You can get the online version, the digital version, which is a bit cheaper, or you can go onto places like Pinterest and you can find them. Not hers but other ones, so if you just like the idea of trying them out maybe before you buy. So these have a photograph with the colour. Now I picked this one because it's my next one. I'm actually working through my box in order, so I grabbed the next one and it was this, so I thought we'll have a go. It's quite an unusual colour scheme. It's very different to this one, which was very sort of traditional, I suppose. But that's fine. And on the back it gives you some variations of the different colours. So I looked at these and thought, what colours, what set of pencils do I have that I can get these colours from? And I grabbed my Polychromos. So we have black here, so I grabbed my black. So there's the first one. Then for the charcoal I grabbed two greys. So this is the Paynes grey, and this is the cold grey 6. So we've got two sort of dark greys. I may not use all of these, but I'm just showing you what I picked. And then the cool greys, I picked these two cold greys, 5 and 4. Okay, they don't go too pale. And then the marigold, I picked these two. This is the cadmium orange, and this is the dark chrome yellow. They seem to be those two. Didn't really have that colour, and actually I didn't really want it, to be honest. I didn't think it would work. I don't know. So I could have picked ochre or something. The brown ochre probably would have been that one, but I just didn't want it. And then I picked two reds. I couldn't get this really pale one, so I picked a deep scarlet and a middle cadmium red for the reds. You don't have to pick 3. You can pick 5. You can pick 10. Pick 1. You know, sometimes I just pick 1 and do that, you know. We've got 2 black, we've got 5 colours here. Sometimes there's 6, I think. Sometimes there's 4. I think 5 is maybe the most common. I'm not sure, can't remember now. Anyway, so let's get started. I'm going to do this square. I've done this square already in my other book as a video, so that's why I'm avoiding it. It doesn't really matter, they're fairly similar. So let's come in and have a think. So we've got our red, orange and grey, and I am thinking we could do a black background with red and orange flowers and grey leaves. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take off my cardigan. I was really cold, I popped it on, now I'm hot. Oh, it's a strange weather day today. It's very windy. I'm going to just block in a black background over the top of all this dotting. It's really windy but sunny. So yeah, it's a bit odd. Now you could use a pen for this if you like a really solid black, but we'll lose these stems. They're going to disappear a little bit anyway. And if you use a black pen, then you're colouring right over them. You won't see them at all. Oops, so I'm going to do a pencil. Sometimes I like to do a pen, but you know, I mean, an alternative way to do it is to colour one side of the stem like that and leave a white bit, and then you can colour it in with your leaf colour. That's what Chris Chain tends to do, but not me today. I have done it before. Actually, in a video I made quite recently, you may have already seen it. I'm trying to think which one. Can't remember. Never mind. Anyway, let's carry on. So yes, it's really windy. I went out this morning and my hair looks like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards, as they used to say in the old days. It's yeah, very well, frizzy hair, just doesn't like wind. But never mind, it's fine. I was supposed to be meeting a friend and she cancelled on me, and because it was windy she didn't want to go out. She gets a bit scared. I think she watches the news a lot and they tend to exaggerate and make everything feel scary, but actually I did have one instance while I was out when I couldn't move because the wind pinned me back, but I was fine. Now we've got to sort of colour around this, which is a bit tricky. Can't really see it now. Yeah, so but I was fine. I don't mind, but you know, we have got a weather warning of sort of flying debris and things like that, but it seemed okay. I mean, there's lots of leaves flying around, but nothing else. But I went into town anyway, and I went to the bed shop, which was exciting because I woke up this morning with a sore back. It's better now. I've been out for a walk. You know, walks are very good for backs, and it's just, our mattress is just not very nice anymore. So I went and had a chat with the man. Came back with lots of information, so that was good. And yeah, there are certain, I'm just looking where I think there's a gap there. What's that line there? I'm trying to work out what that line is there. And there's a line here. What is that? Oh, it's a bit of this leaf, isn't it? The leaf looks like that, so that bit needs to be left. Yeah, that's the leaf. Okay. I've coloured this before, you wouldn't think, would you? It's quite a long time ago. It's nice getting back into this old book, although I've been colouring Small Victories completely madly. I'm making you videos as well, enjoying myself immensely, but I should do some non-Johanna Basford things really for you, just in case you don't have her books, but I'm actually in the mood for just doing what I enjoy, and what takes my fancy at this particular moment happens to be Johanna Basford, but maybe tomorrow there'll be something different. I think we need to colour in that bit there and that bit there and that bit there. Now, I'm not going to worry too much if I miss a few bits because I can colour them in after. So we'll just, I'll do my best. I am wondering whether the grey leaves, the charcoal is going to be quite dark, isn't it? Next to the black. So I'm wondering whether to have a rethink of that. That's odd because that stops there, which lines up with that. Well, that's sort of there, but these dots go right out to here. I'm going to extend that, I think. There we go. It's a little bit scruffy, but it's, oh, I need to put a bit in there, a bit in there, and there. And yeah, we decided, yeah. So I'm going to leave that for now. I'll come back and make it neater at the end if I think it needs it. Now what I've decided, I've changed my mind entirely, that my flower middles are going to be charcoal and grey, and my leaves are going to be either red or orange and the flowers red or orange. It would make more sense to make the flower centres orange and the petals red, but I just can't see where I'm going to put my charcoal if I do that, because I mean I don't have to use it, that's the only thing. I could just not use it and use the light grey. Yeah, I think that's going to make more sense. Right, let's be more traditional. So cadmium orange to start with on the middles of every flower. So I'm going to go around the edge like this, and then a little bit less towards the middle, and then I'm going to put the other colour in. This is odd, there's a gap there, isn't it? But anyway, it is what it is. It's a bit less towards the middle, like that. Get the yellow in there. Should I do these in orange? Yeah, let's try it. See if I can. I might use a pen. So I brought through some Posca pens. I might use to, like those that don't stand out much, they're stems. I might go over them in an orange Posca. We'll see. Now, not having any green on a page where there's leaves, it's quite challenging, isn't it? But that's what the colour cube cards are all about, I think, partly. I mean, some people will choose a palette that matches their picture, you know, but there are, you know, I've got both tubs of cards. That's an awful lot to try and choose from. So it takes so long to pick a card that I think I would just, no. I like to be quick and just get on with colouring. So I just picked the next one, and we're not worrying about those two. So yeah, I'm wondering about is these gaps. Right, we'll worry about those later. Okay, so now on to our dark chrome yellow and finish off all our flower centres. I'm actually going to go over the orange that I've done already and then just come right into the middle. I'm trying to fade a little bit towards the middle though, so that it looks a bit lighter, so you can see that I've used more than one colour hopefully. Yeah, it's quite nice having a bed shop in our town. It's not a big town, but it's a sort of independent family business. I think they've got 2 branches in the country, and that's all. So it's rather nice to support a local business. And go in there. And he's also got some sofas, and we could do with a new one of those too. I think it's because I don't know why everything's wearing out. The balcony, everyone's balconies in the area are wearing out. They had to do that. And the sofa we've had since we moved here in 2001. So quite a long time. It's lasted well. And the bed, not so much. Middle cadmium red. I quite like them in white. I really like them in white. I like it. But no, we could have put some colour in. There's no white on our colour cube card. So with the red, I'm going to put it here near the centre and just fade it a bit, and we'll bring in the other red to finish off. Now these gaps I'm going to colour in red. Maybe as if there's another leaf behind or something, petal. You might prefer to do them in black. Oh, excuse me, I've got hiccups. My son was streaming yesterday and he said, wow, he said, I actually managed to do a stream without getting hiccups or the phone ringing. He said that never happens. That's funny. I know the feeling now. Yeah, so it was nice wandering around town, but after chatting to the man in the bed shop for ages, I wanted to come home. I was going to do a bit more Christmas shopping, but I got a few chocolatey treats for my boys for their Christmas. That's going to be green, not green. I've not got any green. That's going to be leaf, because the leaves go underneath. I'm wondering whether we could make the leaves look silvery rather than just grey, or would it look odd? Not sure. Have a think. as I colour my petals. Now this one, the petals are all on top of each other, so it'd be really quite dark in here to make it quite intense. I'm excited today because I'm recording more than a week in advance, and Johanna's got her colouring school to go with Small Victories, which should be good. I always find something about watching Johanna that just gives me a happy, positive feeling, and so that's what I like. She just seems such a lovely, lovely person, and I think that's why we all like to support her and buy her books. Yeah, just so kind and thoughtful, you know. And I know she isn't perfect. She'll say about how she, you know, sometimes shouts at her kids. We all do that. But just her general outlook is really good. So that's nice. And even when she went through a difficult patch, she was still, you know, still trying to be positive, which I think is really important. It's not always possible or easy, but it makes a big difference. Just realised I'm in here without my device today. My boys are at uni. Oh, sorry, I just got to wipe my nose, and I usually like to be available for them. But yeah, I rather like that plant with white edges to its petals. But they know that they probably think I'm still out. Anyway, but I'm trying to loosen the apron strings, shall we say, you know, worry less about them getting to uni and things like that. It's really hard. But you know, my plan was to sort of try and get them more independent, but it's little steps. You know, you can't just suddenly say, right, you're 18, off you go. You know. But my one boy now makes his meal for 2 days. Monday and Tuesday he's home so late he misses tea, so he takes a lunchbox with a cheese roll and some salad, and then he takes a pasta salad as well to have later in the day. So he makes his pasta salad, so that's good. But it's at a time when he would normally be helping me cook, so that's, you know, it's he's not. So his brother helps me cook and he makes his pasta salad, so it's not too much hassle, but it's quite good getting him used to doing it himself. And yes, I should probably make them do their own lunch boxes, but quite tricky because we get up at 6:15, which is very early, and my one son has to get his shoes on at 7:20 to get the train, so he doesn't have very long to sort of eat his breakfast and stuff, so I do his lunchbox, and he always gets out in time. But yeah, it's early. Most people don't get out that early, have to leave the house that early, I don't think. And then he doesn't get home, so he leaves at 7:20, he doesn't get home till 6 o'clock. So I make sure or 10 to 6 he gets in, so make sure food's ready when he gets in. It's a lot to, I'm going to fill these in just dark red. Yeah, it's a lot to ask. You know, you've been out all day, you're not used to it. And then on a Tuesday and Wednesday when he's home all day, although he's studying, he has to help make the meal. I think you need to start getting used to the fact that they might be tired, but you know, you have to still do the chores as well as go to work. You know, you can't expect anybody else to do that for you. and it's not easy to balance it all, especially if you want some downtime. Yeah. This one isn't as dark at the bottom. I'm going to darken it a bit because I like the look of that one. It's just a matter of adding more layers nearer to the other petals. These are a bit different to the other one we did. They don't have these layers of petals, which I think is so pretty. Yeah, I think being a parent is the hardest job you can have. The responsibility of bringing someone into the world that you want to have a positive impact on the world. Yeah, it's hard. And there's a lot of pressure, both from yourself and other people. Right, we are nearly there with our sort of first layer. And our second layer will tidy it up really. And this is the deep scarlet red. What I'm going to do is go over that dark bit and really fade it. So you can really see the difference. So I'm going to take my time with it. And if you find that it still isn't really dark enough here, you can go back over with another layer of your other pencil if you wish. I may or may not. Depends how it all looks together once I've done this layer. I find it's much easier for me to do each colour one at a time rather than doing each flower one at a time. So some people would probably do one flower and finish it and then move on to the next, but that isn't the way that I like to do it. But there's no right or wrong way. Yeah, it's just what works for you. Put a bit of shadow under that turned over leaf petal. There we go. Yeah. Now these little ones up here. There isn't so much space to fade the colours, they look a bit darker, but I don't mind. Now here I really only want a very light touch at the end of the petal. Don't want it to be white because we don't have white on our card. You can add white and black if you want, or anything to it. You don't have to stick rigidly to the card, but I am trying to just for the purpose of this particular exercise. That's what I've challenged myself to do. I mean, you may need to add some skin tones, you may need to add black and white, it just depends on the picture that you choose. Although of course it's nothing to say that even if you've got a person in your picture that you have to do them in traditional skin colour. You know, you can use something a bit different. I was tempted to try someone with sort of blue skin or green or something like that. I haven't done it yet. I haven't been quite daring enough, but I'm sure it would be really interesting. And it would help with I think sometimes with skin tone you get a little bit daunted by the actual colour that it needs to be, whereas if you do it in say blue, then the colour isn't important and you can concentrate on the light and shade and how to form the features and things like that, because sometimes some of the way faces are drawn for us in some books, they don't have all the features drawn out, like the nose and things like that, and you have to form that with your shading, and that can be quite tricky if you do it with with a different colour. I think it can be a bit easier somehow, but I haven't tried it, so I can't say for sure. Just having a think about a few other things I could do with this once I've finished the flowers and leaves, whether it needs anything else. Don't know. I'm also thinking about the mattress. Husband says just go and buy it. He says I don't need to try, I trust you, just go and buy it. And I'm thinking, I don't know if that's a good idea. But it's a lot of responsibility if it turns out to be rubbish. And there, that's my sort of fault. Oh, the phone's ringing. Right, I am back. I've been on the phone and then I had lunch, so it's been a long time, but I think I can remember what I was doing. So the deep scarlet red, wasn't it? Just extending these petals a little bit. Did we finish that one? No, not there. I'm not sure. Sorry, I don't know where I left off. A little bit of shadow under that one. Yeah, just extending it and getting rid of the white, really. I liked the white, but I think you can leave the white if you want. Yeah, I was chatting to my mum and my dad. He'd decided what he wanted for Christmas, which is good. They're going to go and buy it. He wants to choose specific, which is absolutely fine. And then they'll get it to me to wrap. That's fine. I did exactly the same for them for my husband's present. He chose something and I've got it here and I shall give it to them to wrap. I just looked up then and I couldn't see the record because the word record is about here on my screen and there's red. I thought I hadn't pressed record. I had though, hadn't I? I was lucky. Right. So I'm just doing quite lightly on the edges. And then to the tip like that. Yeah, I was also talking to my husband. I've been into the shop to look at mattresses. He wants me just to order it because his back is bad. He's just quite desperate to make it better. So he just thinks it'll be the right thing and he trusts me. So I might go off and do that soon. It's, yeah, it's an important thing to get right. But it can't be much worse than what we have, I don't think. Right, oh, we need to do these down here. I think I did some of them and not all of them by the looks of it. Now, as I said before, I think if it's not dark enough at the bottoms of the petals, you can go back to the, what was it, middle cadmium red and go back over them. I'll have a look in a minute, just when I finish this last bit. And see. I think there are some areas that could probably benefit from a little bit. So here's the middle cadmium red, sorry. And I'm just going to put a few strokes here and there. And then Yeah, I think these particularly benefit from a little bit more. But it's always a good job to not just look at the detail, say here, sit back and look at the whole thing from a distance and just think and look and decide. I think I'm happy with that now. I'm going to leave it. You can fiddle with yours a little bit more if you feel it needs it. Now we're going to go in for our leaves. Now I'm thinking I have got the lightest grey, which I'm going to use first. This is the Cold Grey 4, and I'm thinking I'm going to use it on all the leaves that touch on black. Oh, we haven't done these. I think I'm going to do them with the deep scarlet red. Just block them in. Oh, really noisy birds. Anyway, so I'm going to use the lightest grey. Just going to block this one in too. Now with these leaves, I'm just going to do the outside bit in the lighter grey. I'm going to make it lighter towards that tip there. And then the inside part we'll do with a slightly darker one. I may end up not using very many shades of grey, to be honest. So hopefully yeah, I think it will look different enough because our flower centres are all the same and our petals are all the same, so I'm trying to use it a bit more there, but I don't want it too dark. So I may only use our darker shades on these. We'll see how it looks. I was thinking, I did say about doing them silver. I've changed my mind. To do them silver, what I would have done was, as well as making this bit darker here and then fading, I would fade from there to there so they had a shine mark in the middle, and I think that would have made them look a bit more silvery. But I'm happy with doing it this way. Sorry, my hand there. Okay, a little bit here and here. I'm going to do quite a dark bit in there, but I don't want it to be so dark it looks black because it is part of the leaf. And a bit of shadow there. And this bit, is that bit black? I think this is the leaf here. And I think that bit might be black. I'm just going to grab my black and my sharpener. Just do it now while I notice, because otherwise I might forget. So here's the black and just pop it in there. And there, like that. Okay, back to our, oops, back to our cold grey, cool grey, cold grey. Yeah, my parents are saying they've invited their granddaughter's boyfriend for Christmas lunch because he's working on Christmas Eve and he'd be on his own in the day otherwise. So, because his family don't live locally, and I'm not sure that they do Christmas anyway. So he was very pleased. So that was rather nice. It's nice that they won't be on their own, which was a worry. For my sister was worried that they wouldn't like being on their own, although I think they're okay with it. And yeah, means my niece won't worry about her boyfriend being on his own either. Okay. It's really quite different, isn't it? Now I'm going to use the Paynes grey for these flowers here. Excuse me. I just realised I coloured one that's going to be this colour, didn't I? Just now. This one. Never mind. Now I did bring through some Posca pens because we've got this dotting on the background, and last time we did the dotting in red, I think, or orange, I'm not sure actually. Now I brought through a few colours. I brought through a black, which is not going to do. I'm going to grab the black pencil and just do a few more bits on the background now. Just tidy it up, fill in any gaps that I left, things like that. Yes, I've got the orange Posca, but I think it's the wrong shade. Our orange is very yellowy, and that one isn't. But I've got a red. I'm wondering whether to do red dots in the background, or whether to not do any dots in the background at all. Pondering, that's the petal. It's because there are these little dots drawn on, it makes me think, you know, maybe I should emphasise them a little bit. But it might not really be necessary. I'll have a look in a minute and have a think. And these I was thinking about doing in a pen, so they showed up. I think I might do that and then decide after that whether it needs more. So I'll do that first. So I've got my orange. Lines in as well. It certainly shows up better, which is good. I'm not sure that dots would show up that well. I think red even less so, maybe. Here's the red. I might try the red in the background. Oh, get the lid off. Try not to put my hand in the orange. Yeah, I'm alright with this. Of course, you can just leave it blank or do a different colour. I think white would look quite nice, or yellow. But I'm trying to stick with the colour scheme on my colour cube card, which, as I said, you really don't have to. It's just like a beginner's guide sort of thing, a starting point, you know, just some inspiration to get you going. There's no rules. You do it however you wish. Nearly done. And I can have a proper look and see what it looks like, whether I really think this was a good idea or not. They don't show up massively, do they? So you can't really say it was a bad idea because it doesn't show up. Let's put it in the middle. There we go. Oh, let's put the colour card by it so you can see. Oh, that's... can't... Well, those two are the same, aren't they? I can put that bit there. There we go. Oh no, actually one's charcoal, one's black, isn't it? Do that, and you can see it. There we go. So there it is, all done. I'm quite pleased with it, to be honest. Yeah, always hard to know how it's going to quite come out. I've got a flower under it, there we go. But yeah, I can't get things straight. This corner of the page is curling out, which doesn't help matters. Anyway, hopefully that's okay. But yes, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I will do a few more from time to time, I suspect, but I'm not sort of making a regular series of it. I'm not sure why. I've just got other things that I want to do as well, so it's just a little gap in the timetable, shall we say. I've got Christmas coming up too, so there'll be lots of very different things for that. We might do some wintry themed flowers though, maybe one day. That might be nice, mightn't it? But anyway, that's me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.